Hello, 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 and welcome to our weekly live show. I am Fabiana Claure, pianist and business strategist for musicians. Happy April. It is the first day of April and it is a Monday. Let's go. I hope you are as fired up as I am about starting a new quarter for the year. It's the beginning of the second quarter, and it's such an incredible opportunity to reset your intentions, to clarify how you can work smarter and how you can learn perhaps from what are some of the things that you've done in the first quarter that now are going to potentially need adjustments, tweaking, reinvention, and optimization, right? So let's go. I'm excited to welcome you to such a great day. It's Monday, it's the beginning of a new week, new quarter, new month. And I'm excited to talk about today's topic around really how to shorten the sales process with prospects, and how to connect with them in a way that will help them understand how you can support them and how to create a better rapport in a way that feels organic, that feels from service, right? That doesn't feel pushy, that doesn't feel like you're just forcing them to do something. I think musicians struggle a lot with the idea of generating sales in a way that feels organic, that feels in integrity, that feels aligned. Because obviously, in the past, you may have had negative experiences around your own sales process, or maybe so you felt that you've been sold something that wasn't valuable. And so, I want to address this elephant in the room before I really talk about how to shorten the sales process with prospects. Because unless you're able to really overcome your own insecurities around sales, around being sold to, around selling to people, and you are able to see sales as the ultimate act of service, the ultimate act of helping people reach their goals, solving their problems. And without you actually selling, you're not going to be able to help them fully. Then, if you're continuously afraid about selling or being perceived as salesy or whatever has to do with negative associations around sales, that energy, that doubt will always hold you back. So, I want you to maybe take a minute and reflect as you're watching this training. And by the way, if you're watching me live, let me know where you're watching me from. I'd love to hear from you and know what are your questions around sales. How do you feel about selling and building that relationship with your audience and your clients, etc. But I want to talk about how can you perhaps use this training to start recognizing your own attitudes around sales. When you think about being sold, when you think about selling, do you feel any uneasiness? Do you feel any sense of insecurity, of resistance to that idea? If so, you're not alone. That's why I'm bringing it up, because here's how I want you to see it. Rather than thinking about sales as something that you're doing to someone to get something from them, if you can see sales as something you are doing to help people solve their problems, through which without that service that you're providing or that product that you're selling, they will continue to be stuck. Now, sales is almost like a moral obligation for you to be able to conquer and to master and to be able to do it efficiently, because you're now really doing this from a place of service. And when you can actually reconcile your relationship with sales in that way and see it that if you can learn how to sell effectively, if you can learn how to shorten the sales process with your prospects and help people take that action in order to solve their problems through your services and products, then you're actually going to be doing good. You're going to be impacting society and your audience and your clients for their betterment, for their future. So, unless you're willing to really reflect on your attitude towards sales and being sold to and selling in general, and you're not able to bring any insecurities to the surface and look at them honestly and ask yourself, is this really true? Any stories you may have told yourself around resistance around sales or being sold to, or any feelings of ickiness at all that you may have had in your life, if you can reconcile those before you even start trying to master your own sales process, that is going to clear the air, clear the floor, give you a clean slate mindset to be able to create what you need to create and to master this beautiful art through which you are meant to impact the lives of your ideal clients. And energetically speaking, if you don't put in some work, if you don't learn new ways, if you don't adopt a different mindset around sales and you continue holding on to the things that you feel resistant, then when you approach sales with people, when you try to sell things to others, that energy will come out. And the objections, the resistance that you face from people are going to be very much related to your inner resistance, your inner objections. And so I want to encourage you to address this for multiple reasons. Not only to enjoy the process more yourself, but also to create an environment where people can feel your energy and they can feel your good intentions and they can feel that you're ultimately doing things that are in their best interest. Now, coming back to the process of our training today, when we talk about how to shorten the process with prospects and shorten the sales, there's a lot of power in creating moments where you interact live with your audience, where you're interacting in real time. Yes, you can create funnels. Yes, you can create ebooks. Yes, you can create videos, webinars, all the things to pre-create, like pre-record your knowledge and experience and create educational materials to your audience, for your audience. However, when we're talking about shortening the sales process with prospects, I want you to remember that being in real time with them in a live setting, whether it's in person or online, but providing live experiences where you can interact with them and they can feel your energy and they can see how you feel, how you think, how you teach, and just get a feel for you in real time. That is one of the best ways that you can shorten the sales process with your prospects, because people don't have time. People are inundated with information. They're bombarded with advertising in all sorts of directions, even distractions, things that are not necessarily important to them. They're just bombarded with things that are competing for their attention. And so when you create live events, live community, like live containers where they can come and work with you for a period of time, or be exposed to your knowledge, whether it's an hour and a half webinar that you can create live and just interact with people and answer their questions and just be of service, teaching them, showcasing your knowledge, teaching things, adding value, or a longer container, right? Maybe a 5-day masterclass or a one-off webinar, or sales conversations, like interacting in real conversations, talking to people and asking them questions. How do you feel about what you're trying to accomplish? What are the challenges you're facing? What are your ultimate goals? What are you trying to achieve? I want you to really remember that you can automate things to a certain point, but the ultimate accelerator in driving the sales process with your prospects is live interaction. Live interaction. So when you can master your presentation skills, when you can master your communication skills, and you can create value for people to receive in a short amount of time, directly in real time, and they can ask questions and you can answer them, and you can create this environment of reciprocity, of community, right? Of connection. That is the absolute best way that you can accelerate the sales process with your prospects. So, in the case of, building an online business, which is something that I really specialize in and helping musicians do, because there's just so many ways that you can accelerate your business when you build a service that can be monetized through your knowledge instead of just trading your time anymore. There are so many ways that you can build these live experiences for your clients, right? We just wrapped up a week and a half masterclass in our community here, sharing, the steps on how to build your own umbrella, your own musician's profit umbrella business. And, next week we're getting ready to do a one-off webinar, kind of continuing the conversation and taking it to a next step, next level of discussion. And if you haven't joined us, by the way, make sure you sign up, because it's going to be killer. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be taking all of the conversations that we had from our previous masterclass, and just so many of you had so many questions and comments, and you just wanted to keep the conversation going. So this is why I'm going to put here the link. If you haven't registered yet, make sure you go to fabianaclaire.com/discovery so you can join us on April 10th. To experience us live, me and my team, and be able to absorb what that looks like in real time, and learn in real time and ask questions and get feedback. All those amazing things can only happen in a live experience. But bringing us back to this topic, the beauty about creating live experiences is that people get to accelerate their trust building process, because they can sense your energy, not just your information, not just your knowledge. They can get a vibe for your personality. They can just feel your perspective, right? Feel your commitment, your mission, your advocacy for what you're building. And if you have not yet really created a live event in your business and you would like to learn how to build these types of community building, accelerators, so to speak, where you have a chance to present, to talk, to share, then definitely you want to join us next week because we're going to be talking all about, what it takes to improve your communication skills, to become more effective as a presenter, to draw people to you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you haven't joined us, make sure you go in Fabiana Claure /discovery and reserve your seat to join us in our next live event. We love connecting with people, and I want to encourage you to not shy away from this, because one of the best ways that you can accelerate that sales process is by creating that feeling of belonging and building a container where people feel seen, heard, and understood in your world. And the more you can do that, the easier it'll be for you to accelerate the sales process and to ultimately start working with the people that you really want to work and not need to continue just educating and building rapport, building trust. Like, there's a period and a value to doing that. And I think it's important that you don't push the process or rush the process. But if you have the knowledge and you're willing to learn how to build that community around you in a real life scenario, I mentioned this online is the easiest because you can connect with people all around the world with a click of a button. Whether you do it in a Facebook group, whether you do it in Zoom, whether you do it in any platform that you choose, just committing to not just creating content, but also putting yourself out there in real time in front of real people and just connecting and answering questions. That is the number one thing I want you to take away from today's training is like, if you're creating a bunch of content, you're putting out materials, you're adding value tremendously, but you are not communicating and getting in real live events. If you're not interacting with enough clients, if you're not having actual conversations in real time, asking people directly in a one-to-one situation or through live events where you have the opportunity to position yourself in a one-to-many context, right? That's the beauty of live events. When you do a live event, whether it's a webinar or a longer masterclass or any sort of live event, you basically get to be in real time with people and accelerate that trust building process and educate them and give them that feeling of your vision and your momentum and your energy. And also extend an invitation in a one-to-many format. Whereas before you do these live events, typically as you're getting these types of online businesses going, most of the live interactions you're going to have are going to be one-to-one through one-to-one conversations, right? So when you're able to create live conversion events with webinars, with masterclasses, and you learn how to do those, and this is something that we do all the time with our clients and kind of walking them through the step-by-step process on how to create these types of events and how to master their presentation skills, messaging strategies, etc. So definitely I want to encourage you, if you're curious about how we do all of this and just the next level of becoming a thought leader and a visionary in your field, join us for next week's webinar. It'll be amazing. It's a one-off thing where we're going to be bringing in all of these topics and a lot more. But I hope that this gets you fired up. If you haven't yet been putting radar in your calendar, perhaps this quarter of 2024 is the time where you can start scheduling some live events, whether it's once a month or every other week, every other few weeks, whatever that looks like. But do not shy away from putting yourself in the room with your ideal clients. There is a lot of power to that. It goes way, way, way beyond what you could do just with one-on-one conversations. And I want to encourage you, if you want to learn more about how to do all of that, join us for our next session next week, April 10th, fabianaclaure.com/discovery. We're going to be talking all about this and a lot more. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great start to your week, to your month, to your quarter, and let's prosper together.